Guys, today I am going to show you an absolutely mind-blowing chart showing us what is next for Bitcoin. I'm also going to go over altcoins. So if you're holding any altcoins, you will want to watch this video. There's a lot of things happening in the markets in general. Gold is at an all-time high. Is Bitcoin going to follow? Well, I can show you the performance of Bitcoin so far compared to other assets has not been that good. But yes, we do have a lot of things to talk about today, guys. So make sure to stick around from the beginning until the end of this video. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. And on the 4-hourly time frame, guys, not a lot has happened since my video yesterday. If you look at the daily time frame, you can see that we're still holding up this daily candle since yesterday. You can see that we did have a big bounce on the daily time frame, going up towards $59,000. And then having a little bit of a pullback. But now this candle is actually trying to break through this resistance level. So $59,000 is the resistance right now. We're currently above it. So let's see if we can close this daily candle above that point. And on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see that it is looking like this, establishing a little bit of a potential trend of a little bit of a bullish trend, I should say, of reaching higher prices here. So everything is looking pretty well if you look at the grand scheme of things, although we are definitely in a little bit of a bearish period here. If you look at what has happened here recently, since we went up to $62,000 on the 8th of August, we have consistently been making lower lows and in general just been consolidating in between these two orange boxes. So what I would say is that I'm still bullish for Bitcoin and things are looking pretty well if you zoom out a little bit, but in the immediate short term, yes, we are definitely in a consolidation phase with a slight bearish bias. But at the same time, we have hit the very important support level on the orange box here, and we're finding that support. So let's see, guys. Let's see where this is gonna go, and you can see it pretty clearly here as well, that we do have a little bit of a bearish trend like this. But let's see if we can break out of this and push towards higher prices. If I zoom out and I look at Bitcoin and everything that's going on in the markets right now with interest rates about to become lower, with the halving has already happened, with the spot Bitcoin ETFs, with everything that's going on for Bitcoin institutions buying, if I zoom out, I still think that Bitcoin is looking very, very bullish if you just give it enough time. So that is my general stance. It has not changed. This is something you already know about. 2-day chart, still we do have the big support level at 53,300. Now let us talk about a couple of interesting things here. So gold made a new all-time high yesterday. So it has never closed at this point before. So this is huge. And you know that I had been talking about this previously here, actually in early 2024, how if we broke above this red line, I was anticipating gold to go on a big run towards the upside. And that is exactly what happened. Now, here is the thing. I think that some of this money, a lot of this money, is going to eventually find itself into the better assets. So gold, fine, but digital gold, which is Bitcoin, is even better. So I do think that this is very, very bullish for Bitcoin as well. It may not seem like it. In fact, if you look at the other assets compared to Bitcoin, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, gold, and if you look at what's been happening here recently, other assets have been performing very, very strong. So you can see the S&P 500, very strong performance, up, 4%. You have gold up 3%, you have Nasdaq up 5.5%, you have Bitcoin down 0.18%. But in my opinion, I think that this is only a matter of time. There's someone selling a lot of Bitcoin. There is some selling pressure for Bitcoin recently, definitely. And if you want to know who is actually selling Bitcoin, then make sure to watch my video from yesterday. I go over that. But I do think that Bitcoin is going to catch up, and I do think that it is only a matter of time. So everyone are fearful about the recession. Let us talk about that a little bit more, because historically speaking, the unemployment rate rises 0.5 to 1 percentage point over the first 4 months of a recession market. So far this cycle, the unemployment rate has surged by 0.5 percentage points over the last 4 months to 4.3% in July, the highest since October 2021. If a mild recession hits, History says we could see the unemployment rate rise to over 6% by the end of 2025. The unemployment rate has already crossed above its 36-month moving average for the first time in 4 years. Every time this has occurred in the past, a spike in the jobless rate followed. The US labor market is weakening. So what does this mean? It means that the Fed are going to try to look at this. In fact, if you look at what the Fed are communicating, they're saying, I have concerns that we set this level of interest rate more than a year ago and inflation and the labor market are cooling faster than expected. I think we should take a step back and think about that. Also what they said, unemployment is up and that's a caution sign. So in other words, the Fed are watching this closely, and if this continues, if the unemployment rate continues to go up, then they might have to start cutting interest rates. Now, the good thing is that the inflation numbers that came in was actually lower than expected. So the Fed they're happy with the inflation going down. They're getting closer to that 2% target as they have been aiming for. But they might have to start cutting interest rates, which is going to help with unemployment, definitely. And it is also going to help the markets with cheaper money flooding the market. So I think that we are in a perfect cocktail, guys. I am not too worried about everything that's going on. I think that if you look at the macro factors, everything is looking good for Bitcoin. Now, if you look at, and this is an insane chart, guys. This is the Japanese stock market compared to Bitcoin. Now, this is on the yearly time frame, the 2-month time frame on the left, which is the Japanese stock market. And then you have Bitcoin on the right, which is the 1-month chart. So what I wanted to show you is how this looks very, very similar. Even though it's on longer time frames and Bitcoin is a new asset, it moves slower. But at one point, also Japanese stock market was a new asset class, right? Or it was a new market. So what you can see is a parabolic phase. You can see a pullback. You can see the second parabolic phase here in blue or in teal. And then you have a big pullback as well, big bear market. The third massive run towards the upside. And then you have a pullback as well. And then you have a lot of volatility in between this, this fourth cycle. So volatility here. And if you compare that to Bitcoin, it looks extremely similar. So we have this push towards the upside here when it's very early days, just like it was very early days here for the Japanese stock market. Boom, we go up. We hit this parabolic line here. We have a pullback. The teal, the second phase is a very, very aggressive move towards the upside. Pullback, bear market, third phase. And then a pullback, volatility in this fourth phase, just like with the Japanese stock market, volatility. And then look at what the Japanese stock market did here. We had a massive parabolic move towards the upside in the fourth cycle here. And the question is Bitcoin going to repeat the same? So this is what happened so far for Bitcoin. We've gone up to our previous all-time high, but we haven't had a break out of this parabolic line. And if we can do that, well, the target they are adding here, TechDev, is $1.7 million until 2028 or 2029 maybe. Is that gonna happen? I'm not ruling anything out, guys. It all has to do with how this is measured. Remember, this is measured in US dollars. So if the US dollars is becoming weaker, it means that Bitcoin is becoming stronger. So we will see, guys. We will definitely see, but I do think that we're going to go up to higher prices. Are we going to reach $1.7 million per Bitcoin before 2029? I don't know, but as long as we resemble something like this that you saw for Japanese stock market, I will be happy. And I think that you will be happy as well. And it is going to lead into massive pumps for altcoins also over time. So let us talk about altcoins actually, because altcoins are not doing very well. Out of the total 30 tokens that have been listed on Binance, which is the biggest exchange in the world, only one has actually been performing well, which is Jupiter. All of the other ones, look at this, minus 75%, minus 65%. In general, they are down between 50 to 90%, which is absolutely insane. That's terrible performances out of the last 30 coins that have been listed, right? So this is gonna change at some point, guys. But I do think that in general, altcoins are gonna continue to suffer unless you manage to pick the right one. So I think this is a perfect illustration of what I have been saying the last, call it last 6 months, call it last 9 months, that you need to be careful with which altcoins you are gonna pick. Yes, there's gonna be winners. If you pick Jupiter, you're a winner. But if you just held all of these altcoins, then you are down between 50 to 90% on those altcoins. So you have to pick the right ones, and I will continue to talk about that on my channel as well. In terms of what we are doing right now, in terms of performance, in general, Q3, it is coming towards an end soon, and I thought, and I still think, that towards the end of the summer, you know, I've been saying this for half a year, towards the end of the summer, I do think that Bitcoin is going to pick up and we're going to go up higher. I think that, or I thought that we would already now at the end of July, beginning of August, that we would start to go up higher, and I guess in one sense we did, because we're at $60,000, we were as low as I think $49,000 at one point. But look at this, we're down 5.7% Q3. Now in general, the median performance is minus 4% in Q3. So we are performing pretty much as usual here in terms of the median, okay? But look at this, Q4 is usually very explosive. The median is 56 or 57% up during Q4. So if history is any indication of what's to come, then we could look out for a positive Q4. And yeah, let's see if that is going to happen, guys. And if you want to use the best centralized and decentralized exchanges to trade on, make sure to take a look at the links in the description. You get up to $30,000 by signing up to Bybit right here, up to $60,000 on OKX, up to $40,000 on BitGet, and no KYC for anyone that cannot use these exchanges. No KYC on Avo, the best decentralized exchange. You get $300 free using this link above. So make sure to take advantage of that. That is what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.